that's the most important question that we must find answer to. What would you have done? You may not have to answer, but you have to find out that if I'm placed in the position where I have to choose between God and gold, what will be my response? And it won't come, the answer won't be easy until we have come to terms with what Daniel came to terms with. And that is, number one, I would rather stand with God and fail than stand with man and shine. And it's coming from a place where we started from Daniel 11:32b, that they that do know their God. Daniel had known this God. Because from the chapter 1 of Daniel, we saw how he was rising by God. So and that is where to defeat, oh, this is powerful. To defeat compromise, we need conviction. It is strong conviction that helps us to overcome compromise. Now, when life begins, because life will always, I'll tell you something, and this is also how God works. The walk with God is in class. When God will, one way or the other, wants to move you to another class, He will allow some things that looks like that. They will come. They will test your character. They will test your ability to compromise. They will test if you are going to choose God, even though it may not be easy. Would you rather allow people to call you love God too much, and then you are fine with it, or you just want to say, oh, no, I don't want them to be calling me Yajesu? Because why? There will always be that trap. It's a trap. But what we don't know is that when we choose God in the midst of compromise, God would, at the end of the day, use that to take glory. Look at how the king eventually had to change the rule of the land and make that God of the... So let's flip the script. Imagine if Daniel also didn't stand. The eventual result of what happened, not even for him now, we are not talking about the fact that he was promoted. The fact that the land was saved. That's why I keep letting us know that we are the instrument which God would want. We may look like we are suffering or we are losing something in the midst of standing for God. But I'll tell you something at the end of the day. If you stand, it will end up in gain. Compromise is the key that the devil is trying to get. First thing we saw here, like all of us have shared, was the fact that there was an excellent spirit that had been at work in Daniel. And we all talked about the need for diligence. We talk about the need to be able to stand. We talk about the need for courageous faith. We talk about the place whereby Daniel prayed. And another thing we did to come to terms with here was that he didn't pray because the rule was made. No.